Yo, my peoples, what's up? Welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop. Jason here. Today I have a solo playthrough for Primal, The Awakening. One of my favorite games over the last couple of years. Big, honking, boss battling card-based game in which we're going to be playing heroes facing off against a monster hunter style. Have plenty of playthroughs here in the One Stop Co-op Shop. The occasion for this one is that as I launch this video, Primal is going to be sold on a web store. No more Kickstarter. Reggie Games has opened up an online store. You can get Primal directly from there. The base game, the expansions. There's also downloadable challenges, so I'll be featuring one of the challenges here, and lots of other goodies. Go ahead and check the show notes below for the Reggie Games online store so that you can get Primal for yourself. As Mike and I have done multiple playthroughs, I'm not going to go over the rules tutorial at all. I'm just going to jump right in. I have two characters that, if you see my previous playthroughs, I have renamed them to Robert and Ned of the North. And they are going to take down Kharja. Once again, apologies for the unpainted minis. I'm not as cool as Colin. We miss him here. But go ahead and check out Meet Me at the Table YouTube channel if you want to get that end. Hopefully, I make it up in funny voices and storytelling. This is a scenario that you can get on the online store among many, many more that will be launched. So after some brief channel announcements, let's jump right into the face-off against Kharja for Primal the Awakening. Let's do it. We are the One Stop Co-op Shop, a multi-platform gaming empire, and your one-stop for solo and cooperative gaming goodness. All right, first up we have Darion the Greatsword. In my fiction, they are Robert. They are going to conquer with their Greatsword. Okay, so I have constructed their deck with one level of upgrades, the 4 upgrade cards, and the special. So this special mastery is Slash Storm. We play a card. If I have 3 cards with Slash already in my sequence, play a counter on this card. So on the flip side, that is going to be an increased sequence limit and some other goodies. So constructed a deck with all the slash that I could muster. And I'm a man of simple taste, so I went with the feather upgrades. I like just having 2 of them just for the ease of it. And the feather blade has 6 of the green cards, so I'll be dodging a little bit. And when I play a card with slash, deal a damage. So normally the 3 is the weapon damage, but I'm basically going to treat it as 4. There are 2 separate instances of damage, so I will remember to add if I kind of have multiple instances of buffing, but for the most part, 4 damage, which is nice for a nice quick blade. In addition, we have the item, which is the feathered coat. When you move, if you are not the aggro player, I might reveal a green from my hand to ignore the movement cost. Have fire to deal with in this scenario. Start with 1 and card is going to spit out more. The deal with fire is that you can't play cards in this sequence, so movement is key. Get the heck out of the fire. Don't stand in fire. WoW players, remember all that from back in the day. Anyway, okay, so I do have 2 sets of coral. Kharja is weak to coral, so I was able to get another card in my deck. So we have the Reef-Bound Helm. The end of your action phase, I can reveal a blue from my hand. If I do, search my discard pile for another attack and shuffle it into my deck. So as you will see with this scenario, there's going to be a lot of discarded cards, basically kind of burning through the deck at a quicker rate than a normal scenario. So card recovery is a good thing. And also extra damage is going to occur as I empty my deck. So I got the Reef-Bound Plate. When I inflict a wound, heal 1. I plan on inflicting plenty of wounds with this character. So I have a healing potion. I have a potion that adds damage, takes a little bit of damage to add more. I would have a third as part of this expedition, but Kharja is going to discard a potion, so I didn't even bother. All right, so here is our intrepid friend Eddard. I went the ice route. That is a weakness of Kharja, so I was able to add another card to my deck. The power on the shield is a nice even stat line. The power is Retaliate, Inflict Slow. Slow is a status effect that is new in the Ice expansion. That will slow down the rate of behavior cards. So if I retaliate, I can put that token on there, and the boss gets refreshes their cards more slowly, basically. Show you that as we get into the playthrough. Also, we got the Ice Helm for the paired. I like having the pairs. During monster upkeep, if I'm in front of the front sector, which I plan to be pretty frequently, I can reveal a blue from my hand to reduce the number of struggle the monster gains each round by 1. Okay, I will take it. Let's see what else I got over here. I went to the iron route. Iron, when you reveal the first attrition card during your attrition check, you might pay a stamina token, so I have to have a stamina token to discard that card and reveal another one, so reducing the chance that I take damage. Iron is generally damage prevention, except I took the bomb. I may start exhaust the card to deal 5 damage. It inflicts the wounds, confuses the monster. So kind of hurrying it to its demise. I am a person, just in general, I play bards and clerics in all of my role-playing adventures and support characters. So we have the Shield of Support path. So the Bs all went into the deck. When I taunt the monster or assist another player, which is going to happen very often, place a counter on this card, max 1 per round. By round 3, I hope to have that active. And let's see what happens on the flip side. Ooh, choose a player in your sector to heal 1. That player could also be me. When I taunt or assist the monster, then depending on what card I use, I get a goodie. For the Kharja special scenario, don't start with much on the board, nice and easy. I do start with fire, so I'm going to want to get out of there as quickly as possible. In addition, I have this counter over here to remind me that as the turns go down, I discard cards out of my deck, 1 per round number. So, that's why maybe playing that supporty character isn't good enough. They take a little bit of time to ramp up. We'll see. I just feel like having some fun here. But the longer it lasts, discard 2, discard 3, discard 4. And also, when I have to reshuffle the deck, I'm going to take an extra heat damage. So I take the 1 damage for reshuffle and also 1 damage for heat. So a lot of time pressure on this one. We'll see if I can make it through. All right, so we are ready to rock. Card is a little bit weird, at least the mini over here. This, I guess, is the front, but it's also the flank. I'm going to go with this as the front, just like this little rock thing over here. So I'm just declaring that right now. There's the front, and then we got the flank and the sides and all that. You also notice this damage token here. Kharja, their deck is going to do stuff based on damaged zones. So in this special scenario, because the pressure is on, one zone is already started with damage. We also have the behavior. Number 1, at the start of the round, discard a top card of the behavior deck. If that card has claw, players in the front sector, which is both of my stuff, suffers wound. So we are going to discard a card that is not a claw, so I am safe from that. In addition, we have the first stance for Kharja. Stance 1, at the start of the round, each player exhausts a potion card. That's why I only have 2 instead of 3. Last thing to note, in this scenario, it's imagining that you're surrounded by a river of lava. There is a card that will come up in stance number 2 that's beneficial for the players, but that card does not exist. The card is keep your distance. There's a way to kind of avoid some of the damage, but because we're surrounded by lava, no keeping distance, Kharja is in our face. Robert the Greatsword steps up and says, "Come face me, you fiery beast. I'm going to floss my teeth with your tail tonight." Edon steps up and says, "Robert, why must you anger every single boss that comes our way? You know I'm going to be taking most of the heat anyway." "You answered your own question, Edard. Now give me a buff and let me go." I have a taunt card that is going to get played. This can only be played out of turn, so this is the time for it. As the aggro player, Robert is going to go first. However, the aggro token is going to be taken away. So they still go first. So I did all of that to make sure that I had the first go here. That also involves a card draw, which is going to bring me to 6. And that's what I was hoping for. We got slash. So what I need to do this round is I need to play these 3. And then play a card after that in order to trigger my slash during round 1, which is exactly what I wanted. All right, now that Robert is not the aggro player, my feather coat kicks in. When I move, if I'm not the aggro player, I may reveal a green from my hand. Got the green, and I got the aggro taken away from me. "Edard, you're the best. Remind me to get you an extra good Christmas present, like Kharja hide. Ha 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 ha." So much to remember before I get started. First of all, the boss did get 2 struggle. They get 2 struggle at the beginning of every single round. Also, each player discarded 1 card. Unfortunately, Robert discarded a slash card, so that's going to be missed. And I got a shield block here. That one isn't so bad. So when I move, that triggered a behavior. So we have Fire Paw. Discard the top card of the behavior deck. That card has Claw. The active player suffers a wound. Does it have Claw? There's only a couple in the deck. That does not. So I am good to go, and I'm going to replace it with a Maul, which is going to be aimed at Eddard when they go. So first things first, we have Hurricane. Reduce the stamina cost of cards with slash by 1 to the end of the turn. Perfect opener for this maneuver that I'm about to do. We're going to get rid of one struggle. And I want to get rid of another struggle. I'll show you why in just a second. We got Rapid Slash. Would be an assist, but Robert is greedy if he's anything. That gets rid of another struggle. Okay, so now we have more behavior shenanigans. We have this card right here. The active player suffers wound unless they reveal a one of those guys from their hand. Look what I kept behind in reserve. No wound for your hero. And we have another tail card that's going to show up in the behavior deck. That's the key with Primal. You are going to get to know the cards because there's not that many in terms of boss cards. They show up so often. Try to get your cards not just to maximize damage, but also to counter everything that the boss is going to do. Takes a little while, but it does pay off. So we have Double Slash. If the next card you play in your sequence is a red, reduce your stamina cost by 1. It's already free because of Hurricane. So we are going to play another card, and that's going to do weapon damage, which is 4. And so that is 1, 2 slash cards. We have another slash card. Hurricane, Double Slash, reduce the cost by 1. Woohoo! And I triggered this thing. So it is going to do weapon damage, which is 4 again. Increase the damage is attacked by 2 weapon damage for each other card with slash in the sequence. 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. That's what we call buffing the main star of the show. So weapon level is 1, so that is 2. So that's for each of these, so another 4. So we got 4 plus 4, which is 8. That brings the monster to 12, which is a wound. Their threshold is 10, and their flip condition is 6, so I have a little while to wait for them. That is 1 wound. My Reef Brown plate would have gotten me back a wound, but I was able to avoid it. Fantastic. Love dealing wounds in my first turn of the game. So now this really stinks. So the benefit of using Hurricane was I was able to get the reduced cost over here. The drawback is I don't have enough to play this without assistance. Literally assistance. So this is where Eddard comes in. Once again, Robert, you cannot live without me. Literally, you'd be dead without me. Does that sound like Fat Bastard more than Eddard from Game of Thrones? I'm sorry, my Scottish accents are pretty weak. What are you going to do? Anyway, so we have the Aggro Strike. That's an assist card. That is going to enable Robert to draw another one, which is a green. When your mastery is focused, ignore stamina card is going to be. So that is not too great. Actually, wait a minute. Okay. So actually, I'm going to play this Blade Reflex instead of Voice of the Dragon. Voice of the Dragon would have given me a stamina discount. Can't do that. So we're going to pay Voice of the Dragon to put this card on top. So what that does, gives me a defense for the attrition. And because the specific condition is when I play a card, if I have 3 cards with slash in my sequence, 1, 2, 3, then this triggers. Okay. Next round, a sequence limit is increased by 1. That's really hard. If you have a card with slash in your hand, search your discard pile for another card with slash and add it to your hand. So this is another kind of discard salvation over here. So that'll help with the boss discarding a lot of cards. So that's it. Look at that successful turn right there. At the end of my action phase, return a card with slash from your sequence to your hand. So let's go ahead and, well, I think I've done with the red slashes. Let's go ahead and take a look at my deck reshuffle. Let's just see what I'm working with. Yep, that is true. I don't have a lot of red to work with. So what I am going to do is I'm going to just pick up double slash. I do have some reds coming. So I'm just going to keep this in my hand for next turn. Before I discard, we get a attrition. The attrition is 1. I have 1 defense. So Robert was able to get out of that scot-free. So let's go ahead and draw up to 5, including this card that I have in my hand. And this that was a good turn. This is going to be more of a defensive turn. The next turn, that's the way Primal rolls. Also, along the way during Robert's turn, they played a aggro card. So Kharja goes whoop at the end of the turn. Eddard, do something. I was only kidding about the teeth and the floss and all that. What would you have me do, lad? I only have 3 cards left from the last turn. That's the problem when you play assist and taunt in the same turn. You can only do one at a time. You can only do 1 assist and 1 taunt. So you can just throw your hand, but I did get rid of a lot of cards. All right, so I do have to move. I'm going to move with Feint when I discard this card. I draw 1. So we got counterattack when I suffer a wound. I'm going to discard this card to deal 3 damage. So 3 times 1 is 3. That's not the worst thing in the world. There is a behavior card with a tail on it, but you have to start the turn there, and it's going to get discarded because of the behavior refresh. I'm not afraid of this tail card. So here's a fun card for helping other folks beyond limits. I may suffer 1 weapon damage. That is 1 wound. So that is going to go on my Iron Helm. That's not good news at all. Oh well. All right, what happens? If I do increase the damage the attack deals by 2 weapon damage, or by 2 levels, which is 2, and choose a player to draw 1. That's why I did it. You see? That's what you get for whining. You get rewarded, so keep whining. Works like a charm. 6 cards in hand for Robert next turn. That's fantastic. So I also get to do 6 damage to the boss. So there is the 6 damage, which brings the monster to 8, 2 more towards another wound. Not bad for my support character. I'm going to keep these 2 cards in reserve so that I can end the turn by having a stamina token. I very much benefit from having stamina tokens. But before I do anything, I only had 1 card, so I am going to just take the full effect of this likely. Yeah. I could discard and draw again, hoping to get a 0, but it's actually not bad to get the 3 out of the way on a character that can kind of take it. So let's go ahead and wound them. They are now down to, they have 11 health total and 2 wounds. They're at 9 HP. And so that is 3. I got my taunt, so I get to proc my thing next turn. And lots of struggle removal. Oh, assist as well. Don't you even think about it, lad. But my sequence limit is 6. I have so many cards. You know you want to give them to me. Last but not least, Kharja will do their end of round. Threatened players. I knew this would be threatened players. I had a chance to be threatened players. Let's make sure I wasn't threatened, so that's not going to affect me. These mouths are aimed at our intrepid hero, though. That's not great news. We are going to progress the round to 2, which means fish. Fish. Both players are going to discard 2 cards from their decks. As usual in a game of Primal, there's a whole lot of rigmarole. I'm probably going to forget some things. It is what it is. So this happens at the end of last round. That turns to yellow, and then the next round 3, this will disappear and clear this out. So that's good news. So that's the end of the end of round stuff. Start of round, there you go. I already did the discards. We have this thing. Actually, wait a minute. I think the behavior stuff happens first. I have no idea. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. So gets 2 struggle, and then we are going to discard that in the behavior refresh, which is going to get a end of turn right there. And then I believe this happens. You kind of go up and down the board. Start of the round, discard a top card of the behavior deck. If that card has claw, players in the front sector suffer a wound. That is not a claw. That empties the deck, so the monster is going to reshuffle, and they are going to unleash again, which I believe is them getting 2 struggle, which brings them up to 4. I am incorrect. It's actually called escalation, and they only get 1 struggle, which brings them up to 3. All right. Also, the start of the player round, the aggro player is Robert, the Great Sword. So they are going to get 2 of these in their face. Let's see what happens. Kharja gains player plus 1 struggle, so they end up getting the 4 after all. The active player skips their turn unless another player discards a blue or a red from their hand. That would be Eddard. However, the boss does not know what they are in for. Going to discard this one. There's a reason why I don't worry about the assist. I'll tell you that in a second. While this card is the top card of our discard pile, reduce the stamina cost of any other red players play by 1. Hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Got some red cards coming for you. All right, that is a boot. It's going to trigger when we have a movement. For the duration of this turn, the active player cannot be assisted. That's why I don't care. And must use only green to generate stamina for movement. And we have the Rampage card, which comes out, which I believe the Rampage card has to be in the field in order and triggered by another card going in order for it to actually activate, because it technically doesn't exist yet. So I'm going to hold off on that. Believe me, I'm going to trigger these things liberally, so I'm not too worried about it. So Robert was going to have 6 cards in their hand from that 1 card last turn. However, Slash Storm, not only is my sequence increased by 1 if I have a card with Slash in my hand, which I do, this Pressing Strike over here, I get to retrieve a card from my discard pile that says Slash and add it to my hand. Yeah. I plan on not using the blue to attack, so I'm going to just get this Jumping Slice and get some more damage right in there. Actually, I have enough tricks in the can with my 7 cards that I don't need this snazzy Eddard card. So I'm going to instead play the Taunt, which is going to shift aggro over to Eddard. That's very nice. And Robert is going to draw another one. So getting that out of the way. Although, Counter-Strike, ooh. Increase the damage the attack deals by 3. Okay, I'll take it. And that's how I like it. One player is the star and one player supports the star. Fantastic. And so because they are not the active player anymore, I do have a green amongst this whole thing. So I'm going to move without paying a stamina cost. All right, so first things first. Can't do everything in this game. I was hoping to do this a little bit very efficiently, but it's only going to be kind of efficient. So I do have to pay for that one. Counter-Strike. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this Endurance. Bye-bye. So I get 1 symbol, and the next red that I play, I get to increase the damage on that attack by 3. So the next attack is going to be Double Slash, for which I am going to pay with this Swift Dodge. Boom! All right, so first let's do the attack. So we have 4 damage, 7 damage just off of that 1 card play. I will take it. So the boss is at 8 already. Add that 7 minus the 10. They are at 8 health and 5 damage towards the next one. We'll go ahead and take care of that. Yes, that is there for now. Here we go. 3rd card, Jumping Slash. Double Slash means that this is free. So I don't end up using my blue in order to do anything. So that's okay. It will get me the aggro token though. And that will do another 4 weapon damage, bringing me closer to doing that extra wound. Gets me the aggro token back. Going to spend Heavy Clash in order to do Empty Fate. I can play a card with Slash as the next card in my sequence without paying its stamina cost, and I guarantee myself to resist attrition because I already got rid of the 3. Love being able to pay for a 2 or get a 2 for free with nothing. So Pressing Strike, that is 5. That removes a struggle, so that brings them down to 3. And I get to draw 2 cards. Remember, the sequence limit is now 6, so I can play one of these. No attack. Boo! All right. Do I want to remove another struggle? That's a nice one to have. Discard. I can also hold on to these 2 to get a stamina token for next turn. Decisions. I'm going to do that because I go through my hand pretty fast. So I'm just going to hold on to these. And basically what that maneuver got me was a struggle token, which is a free currency. So that wasn't a bad play to end off on. And that is the end. So just to make it official, yep, I got a 2 out of the way, blocked it. That is my turn. Unfortunately, because of all that draw, I had to reshuffle my deck. Here is my hand. Not full of very impressive cards, but I'll take what I can get. I had suffered 2 wounds, one from heat from the scenario and one from the regular reshuffling of the deck. So you need to proc this weapon by dealing some wounds. Not a problem, as you can see. My sincerest apologies. There's so much to keep track of in this game. When our sword fighter moved, they triggered these two cards. They triggered the foot and also the rampage. The foot, you would have discarded a card and done something off a claw, which didn't happen, so that's okay. But this does happen. Kharja does gain struggle. Actually, it's 2 struggle, 1 per player, so that is up to 5, and they're going to unleash next turn. They're in stance 1, which I'm currently in. Place a damage token in the front sector. At the time, the front sector was towards our good friend Edard, so that is a damage token that's going to come into play later. So now we are caught up. We have the tail. No one is starting there. And we also have the end of turn, so we're going to get 2 end of turns triggers at the end of this round. And also, hey, threatening player. Save me again, Edard! With what, Robert? I'm trading defense for offense here. Isn't that what you're supposed to do? So, still 3 cards in hand. As usual, the helper turn isn't that exciting. Let's go ahead and discard that struggle token that I got to go into the front this time. I have a method to my madness over here. And we are going to pay this as a currency to play this. So that is going to be the only card in the sequence. I'm going to have 1 card left that I'm going to reserve. And so I did that because this has a very high chance of being a 0 or 1. It is a 1, and so that negates the wounds for the turn. So Edard already has some wounds, so they are not that excited about going through their deck very fast. But we ended up drawing some stuff, which is nice. And nice slow pace. We have the cooling saucer, that the hot cup of tea that is Robert. We got a nice balance over here. So that is the end of round. This fire goes away, which doesn't matter too much because I'm far away from there, but that's okay. The bad part is I get hit with both of these. Threatened players suffer X, where X is the number of counters on Kharja. No one is threatened. Did that on purpose, so that is going to be the card. And each player in the front and flank suffers wounds unless they both reveal yellow from their hands, and they are going to play that. The aggro player must instead reveal 2 of them. Instead, let's see what I got over here. So this is the aggro player 1. That's too bad. So that is going to be another wound for Robert. Edard has plenty of yellow. Turn counter goes to 3. We got 1, 2, 3 off of Robert's deck. Ugh, oh no, Jumping Slice. I like Jumping Slice. We have 1, 2, 3 off of Edard's deck. We have, oh man, an assist is getting discarded. That's a shame. However, they still have cards in their deck, so they are going a lot slower. Behavior refresh is going to take care of this. This is a 1, and that puts this mouth right there. So they are going to reshuffle. There's a lot going on here. And they are going to get the 1 token. They're also going to get tokens for their Unleash. So they are at 6, which is 3 per player. They're going to discard down to 1 per player and deal every character a wound. Boy, Kharja is now starting to really heat up. Ha ha ha. You get it? Heat up. Ha ha ha. All right, so once again, Robert is the first player, and once again, Edard are going to come in with their taunt, the best card in the game, and they are going to allow Robert to draw 1, which is going to get them to 6, and take away that aggro token. They're both in the same sector, so Kharja doesn't move. And now that Robert is not the aggro player and I have a green thanks to my trinkets, we get to move over to a non-damage sector. Thank you very much. And wail away with glee. And oh, by the way, thanks to that discard, I can fish a card with slash because I have the slash card in my hand, which I'm always probably going to. I can fish another card with slash. It's going to be Jumping Slice back into my hand. Rewind. Before I did all that, though, that's this game. That's what happens. That effect triggers. Each player in the rear sector must immediately move or suffer whatever. Don't have to worry about that one. The key one, though, is that this card is going to be in the behavior row, which is what I need to deal with now. All right, so there's a little bit of funky involved. I'm going to do the best I can to draw this all out. So, first of all, we are going to play a Battle Cry, which is just a straight up card for attacking Resilience is what happens when I get hit. Berserker, when I play this, enter the Berserker stance. Whenever I play a red card, I get to draw a card to replace it. That's 4 damage thanks to my slashing leather blade, or feather blade. So that is going to bring what I got, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Let's go ahead and take the boss down to 7, another wound. Thanks to my reef-bound plate, that is going to heal 1 whenever I inflict a wound. Love when a plan comes together. Sorry about that. That only happens when I play a card with slash on. This card does not have slash, and I take 1 less damage. The boss is at 2 out of 10 for this next wound threshold. I played a red card, which inspires this little jammy over here. Kharja becomes vulnerable. Yeah! The active player suffers wound, where the X is the number of counters on Kharja. No counters yet. That'll happen at the further stances. So I heal the wound, and I'm going to get that wound back for this. But that is basically trading damage for damage, which in this game, damage for the boss is exactly the name of the game. So the boss has vulnerable. I'm going to use it right now. Jumping Slice. It is a slash, so I get the 4 damage. And if I pay with a blue, increase the damage dealt by 3. So that's going to be 7 damage off of this card. Now hold on a second. First of all, I'm going to pay for it with Quick Attack. When I discard this card from my hand, which I'm going to do to pay for this, deal my base weapon damage. So base weapon damage is 3. So that will take the boss to 5. As that threshold there, and I'm going to play that, which is 3. Attacks deal by 3 plus 3 plus 1, 7. Double all that because of the vulnerable. 14 damage. Woohoo! Or rather, you big dog, I'm going to eat your fire on the crap out coals. Oi, the visuals, Robert. I go to sleep with them all the time and give me nightmares. Cropping coals. 14 damage is a wound unto itself, as well as a little bit of extra damage. So that takes the boss down to 6. They are almost down to 5. They are going to trigger their next stance, though, which that adds the damage onto here. So now I have changed stances. This goes away, and now I have to deal with this. They are immune to blind. I don't do anything with blind. When a card suffers a wound, place a counter. That's where the counter comes. That's where they're going to do more damage. When a player suffers attrition damage, the player suffers 1 additional damage for each counter. So now the damage is really, really going to step up in class. And once again, I don't get that, whatever that card is called, the white card. That's good for me in this scenario. Oops. All right, so now I have to do 14 damage to hit the threshold. I'm at 9. When revealed, place a fire terrain in each damage sector of the board. Ugh. Luckily, there are only 2 damage sections of the board, and they're easy enough to deal with. And, oh yeah, we did that. You see those 2 symbols over here. Behavior card, active player suffers wound unless they reveal a thing from their hand. Kharja has to spend the struggle. That's a mandatory thing. Active player suffers wound unless they discard a yellow card. I was going to use this, but I think I'm a better part of Valor. Let's hold on to the wound for now. So we are going to hunker down now that we've done some good damage. We're going to play that or discard that card for a swift dodge. Reduce the stamina cost of the next card you play by 1. That's going to be this. Evasive step. Search my deck for a red and put that in my hand for next turn. See what I got in terms of red. I don't know if I have too much left. Ooh, I have Dragon. Oh, never mind. I got some good ones over here. Including the big slash setup. That's really hard to set up. Do I have a lot of slash left in my deck? Not really. So not Dragon Descent. Let's go. Oh, what? I didn't even play this last time. Attack Vix vulnerable. Let's go ahead and try to set this up for next turn. Will not get to me, but I did absorb a 2, which is really important. That is going to go away, and we are going to pull for next round. Excellent. Offense and defense all at once. You gotta love it. All right, so we are going to start everything with the turn. Before we do that, there was aggro gotten. That is going to be over here. Also, Robert had healed a wound, so they are down to 3 because they had inflicted another wound on the boss. Wow. And because this is the 3rd round, I was able to use my taunt 3 times. I have my shield of support. Choose a player in your sector to heal 1. That would be our friend Eddard, who is now down from 4 to 3 wounds. Fantastic. Next order of business, get out of the fire. So we are going to move, and both of us are going to meet in the middle. Helps out for wound management, all that kind of stuff, now that my shield mastery is active. We are going to continue our ways of helping. So we have, we're going to discard this shield dance over here to play Immolate. Choose another player to draw 1. All right, this is fodder over here. I might want to draw 2 instead. We'll see what happens, how that all plays out. So that's only a shield. I could have suffered wounds to make a lot of players draw 1, but there are no a lot of players. That also gets aggro back to where it belongs, which is the tank. Fantastic. So that's the 1 card I'm going to play the turn. Hey, give a lot of shine to my partner over here. And there's only 1/2 left, and there's a bunch of cards here. So going to try to mitigate that as much as possible. So no attrition damage there. Have 1 card left, so we are going to draw 4. So that is the end of Eddard's deck. So that is going to trigger a reshuffle. It is also going to trigger 2 damage. Ugh. Oh, man. Hopefully I can manage that a little bit better. And 2 more cards. Lots of struggle removal. All right. Well, that's extra damage that the boss won't be doing, hopefully. Let's see what happens. All right, we are going to do the end of turn effect. Each player in the front and flank suffers a wound unless they reveal this thing. The aggro player must reveal 2 of them because we are going to get rid of that struggle. Aggro player does not have any, so they are going to take another wound. Ow! Oh, that brings them up to 6. That is no good. Robert has 1, so they are going to block that attack. And we get a new card. So that is going to bring us to the end of the round. At the end of the round, that fire is going to dissipate a little bit, but it is still a problem. We get the struggle first. They only get 1 token. I finally get to use this power because I'm in front. During the monster upkeep phase, if you're in the front sector, I can reveal a blue to reduce the struggle gain by 1. So that is only 1 struggle gain. That is going to matter bigly. Behavior refresh, we get rid of that movement. We are going to get this rampage card, which is going to trigger next turn, which is unfortunate, but that's this game. We are going down to round 4. So that is 4 cards discarded. All of my defense on Robert. And we have some taunts, assist, all the good stuff from Eddard. Man, the pressure is on. All right, finally, Eddard gets to go first. Well, this is the start of the round before anything. They are going to use their potion. So in the scenario, there are extra points as a point threshold. One of the things is not to use a healing potion. I'm not playing for points. I just want to live and make it to the end of the scenario. So we are going to heal 4. Why did I heal 4 instead of 2? Because there is a 1 or a 0 on top of the attrition pile, according to the potion. If the top card of the attrition pile is 1 or lower, the player heals 4. In addition, they have their mastery up, so they are going to heal. They don't have a natural way to heal like the warrior does, so they're just going to heal themselves 1. A nice, hale and hearty back to the beginning. In addition, one more time, more start of turn stuff. They are going to use the bomb. Explosive. Start of turn, you may exhaust this card to deal 5 damage. If this inflicts a wound, confuse the monster. Boom! That is going to get rid of that card for the game. So that's 9 plus the 5 is 14. That cuts the threshold. That's why I use the bomb. And they are going to be down to 5 hit points total. Halfway there. All right, and there's a confuse token on the monster. Let's go ahead and put it on here. Confuse means I could turn them whenever I could turn them wherever I want. So let's go ahead and be not near me, just for a round, and then so that way I could either stay if I wanted to and attack and all that kind of thing. Also, the confuse token is there for the round. It will cancel one of the boost effects. So you saw how the boost effect maybe discard extra cards. We can cancel that at least once. Last thing that happens in terms of Kharja, the second thing, a second stance is up. So then when Kharja suffers a wound, they get a counter. And when a player suffers attrition damage, which I'm trying to avoid, the player suffers 1 additional damage for each counter on Kharja. So Zerg time, baby. Let's get this boss down as far as possible. Actually, I'm going to turn the boss this way because there is a behavior card, because this is still technically all the start of turn. So if the player starts their turn either in the front or the back, these 2 cards would trigger. So let's go ahead and go to the side and slow this behavior road down. All right, let's get to work. Don't have too much to work with. At the very least, I can get rid of that struggle over there. Let's do that. So we're going to go ahead and discard that to move to avoid getting the threaten token and slow that attrition deck down now that I kind of have it under control. All right, so let's go play agility, which if I pay with a blue, which I'm going to, boop, we'll draw 2. Anything useful over here? More, at least another blue and aggro strike. Increase the damage the attack deals by 1 for each aggro in my discard pile. I have 2 aggro in my discard pile. That wouldn't be so bad. That seems expensive, and this is a little bit more defensive oriented. And that's okay. So let's go ahead and... Actually, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to play Anticipate. By paying with this, actually, I'm going to pay with the counterattack card, keeping back aggro strike for the assist, and also the blue. Let's put down 2. So this is basically 2 defense. That's okay. I'm hoping that this is the 2 that I pull. Yes, it is. Fantastic. So these 3 cards are either 1s or 0s. So that is a lot of good information for the for Robert to deal with next turn. Not very sexy on turn, but we have unlocked a lot of potential for next turn. We have assist and taunt. Oh, baby. All right, so we are going to turn that monster over here because to follow a taunt player. Nobody starts in the front or the back, which I have. That's part of the strategy of the game. So I was able to slow down the behavior for this turn. In addition, I do have 1 Lonely Slash in my hand, so I can search my discard for another slash to put in my hand. So I got 7 cards in hand. As you can see, I have kind of lined things up so I can play all 4 of these. Okay, let's go ahead and play that. Suffer damage equal to your weapon level 1. Your weapon gets plus 3 damage till the end of this round. Okay, we are zerging. So that is another wound, which I've been managing wounds pretty good. It's at 4 out of 12 hit points, so not too bad. Not bloodied yet. All right, and we are going to... I'm never going to play this as this character, so I'm just going to use that for the assist. And that's going to be 1 card, which is basically another stamina at this point. Oh, Hurricane. Reduce the stamina cost of cards with... Oh, all cards with slash! Yes, that's great! Oh, sorry, I get a little bit excited playing this game. Okay. And because I don't want to go into the back because there's fire there, I'm going to stay right here and just absorb the threaten. And I don't think I'm going to be dealing with that too much right now. And, sorry, I'm doing this a little bit out of order. There's a lot to keep track of. With the Shield of Support, when that player played an assist, they deal weapon damage to the boss. So think a little bit of damage for your face. Every little bit helps. We have 4 damage already on the boss. First things first, let's play that Hurricane card that I just drew. It's going to get rid of the struggle. Let's get rid of Counter-Strike 2. Pay for that. And let's go ahead and take care of the... Yep, I think I have enough for this. Precise Strike 3. Very, very expensive attack. But that's going to inflict vulnerable, which is going to be great. I happen to have 3 right there. So that is going to be my attack on the side. So in itself, it's not that great an attack because it's only 3. But we are leading up to something. So these next 3 cards are slashes, so they are going to be reduced by 1. So these 2 are free because of Hurricane, and the double slash is going to take care of the Dragon Descent. So these are all going to be free, which is my entire hand. Let's take care of these two first. We have Jumping Slash and Double Slash. That gets aggro back, and it does 8 damage to the boss. 8 damage to the boss is going to hit the next threshold. They are down to 4. That gets them another counter. And also, because of my Reefbound Plate, heals 1 wound. And I forgot I had used this Hatrox potion. I did 3 attacks, so that is an extra 9 damage. So that is, the boss is down to, has 10 wounds out of the 14 on their way down. And finally, Slash, Slash, Slash. Dragon Ascent, increase the damage of this attack, deals by 2 for each, 2 times 1 is 2, for each other card with Slash in your sequence. So that is going to be 2, 4. We have 4 from the weapon, which is 8. We have 3 from the potion, which is 11. The Precise Strike inflicted vulnerable, which means 11 times 2 is 22! Oh! Are you going to say the thing about cropping coal again? What do you mean say, nutty boy? Don't even think about it. It's not even dead yet. So 22 plus 10 is a whopping 32 damage total on the boss. So the way that works is, you take out 14. So that is 1 wound, which heals 1 wound from our Intrepid damage dealer. Then you take out another 14, and that is another wound, and that heals another wound. From our Intrepid damage dealer. I know the game makers are watching this. I hope they're not groaning because of all the rules that I've gotten wrong. Anyway, so that is down to 2 wounds, which isn't that great because it's like I did one of my big attacks, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to replicate that quite. And they are in stance 3, so now I have to do 24 damage. So 48, 47, 46, 45, 44 total damage over the rest of the round. When revealed, advance round marker to 8. If it is already at 8, it gains struggle. Oh, so this is where the game really wants to put the screws to you. Because the scenario, at least, the scenario definitely wants to put pressure on you because I'm going to be discarding 8 cards. The end of that turn, hopefully I have enough to take that out so I don't have to take that progression through my deck once again. Ugh. So that is Kharja. This card gets discarded because it does not say permanent, but I believe this card is just an advanced version. When a player suffers attrition damage, sorry about that. There are counters on here. So it was at 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. There should be 4 counters on Kharja. There you go. Okay, when player suffers attrition damage, the player suffers 1 additional damage for each counter on the Kharja. The end of the round of Kharja, health is 1, which is not. All players suffer wound plus X. Right now, the wound is 1, but plus X would be 4, and that's going to grow, where X is the number of counters on Kharja. Fire burst. Psh, 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 psh. Basically, you want to try to get Kharja from 2 to 0 in 1 round. You saw that I did it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to put all that together again, but I'm going to do my best. In all that, I did not leave myself protected. And because I was threatened, it would be the 0 and the 1. I would have gotten hit with the 1 anyway. So they suffer attrition damage. They suffer the damage, additional damage for each counter on Kharja. Thank goodness for Reefbound Plate, because that is 1, 4, 5 damage. That would have been real bad news without all that stuff. But because of the Reefbound Plate, I'll be able to absorb all that and get myself going. That's 1 card drawn. We have to reshuffle, which brings us back to 2 damage. So that was... Alrighty, look at that. It's 11 points. I'm at 8 now. That's just some special stuff right there. So that is a reshuffle, and I have to get myself up to 5 cards again. There's going to be slash cards in the discard. I'll show you that in a second, but at least I got my Dragon Descent back again. Let's see if that helps, people. End of the round. Let's go ahead and get rid of that fire, which is a good thing. This goes away. That goes away. Didn't even use that. The round tracker tricks to 9. So we are going to, basically this is it. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards out of each deck. There's going to be some slash in there. Yep, there's some slash in there. I have to reshuffle Robert's deck, so they are going to take some wounds, but they've been really nursing themselves. They're at 3 wounds right now, so we'll absolutely take it. End of the round also, they have pointed over to Robert, so Edard cannot use his cute struggle suppression trick, so they're just going to go ahead and get the 2 struggle right there. We have the behavior refresh, which I was able to manipulate a little bit, and I like the fact that this is the end of round because I don't plan on, having what's our face survive past this round. We'll see if I can make that happen. Yeah, we're up and down with the healing over here. Definitely gonna use the healing potion. Don't care about points or nothing. So we are going to get ourselves back down to a reasonable state. And in addition, we are going to use Taunt from Edard over here to let our Intrepid character draw 1 and seed the aggro. So they are no longer the aggro. We got a Dragon Dash. Okay, not bad. Reduce the stamina cost of the next card you play by 1. Sure. And it's free? Yeah, let's just play that right now. That's definitely going to get played. But first it gets shown because of my wonderful item, so we can just move on over without paying the cost. Sorry about that. Before the movement, this triggered for our friend Robert. For the duration of this turn, the active player cannot be assisted. I'm not using assist. And only whatever to generate stamina for movement. Don't have to generate the stamina. All right, and we get this one. Kharja gains 2 struggle. Okay, so... and it's stance 1, so I don't have to worry about that. Here comes more stuff. Uh-oh, they reshuffled, so they are going to get... oh, more things to play. So now, here is the interesting thing of what happened. I should probably put this back. So the first 2 cards that were dealt... Look at that. That is just... Oh, this game is really, really cheesing me off. All right, so... okay, so first of all, I reshuffled that and I got the same thing. So that happens. Let's see what I get for the next one. Kharja gains struggle. The active player skips their turn unless another player discards that symbol from their hand. So the other active player is our friend over here, Edard. Edard is going to get rid of this convenient card again. Assistance when this card is on top of your discard pile. Reduces stamina cost of any red by 1, which is really, really nice. So I'm really going to use that this time. I didn't really use it last time, but this time definitely. So we got more behavior cards. I really got socked that time, but that is how it goes in this game. Now I do the movement. There you go. Adding that struggle token brought them down to 2. Kharja still deals out 1 wound. They don't add the wound to that unleash damage, but each character is going to take a wound. Edard is fine. Darion, thanks to the healing potion, is a little bit doing a little bit better. Before I play this awesome green card, let's go ahead and get that out of the way. Rapid Slash, which is remove 1 struggle, but is also a slash card. I don't think I've been doing that too much. Remove that, and the feather actually does a little bit of damage. Tickle, tickle, tickle. Every little bit helps. And now I'll play this. That covers the attrition damage. Don't have to worry about that. And let me go ahead and play as many red as I possibly can. So that is Battle Cry. That is Berserker and Resilience. Berserker means I can play a card. I can draw a card whenever I attack. So that is going to be 3 damage. Plink. Double Slash is, because it is a slash card, that is 4 damage. That brings the boss to 12, which is not that mighty. And we have Dragon Descent because of everything I got going on. It is free. It is 4 damage. That is going to be increased 6, 8. 12 plus 8 gets me to 20, which is... Basically, I'm going to be entering another round, and that's going to really hurt. I might just kind of fall over and die. Before I get to that, that is how it goes. I already know the attrition story. That is 1. I block it, so I no longer have knowledge of this deck to go with me. So now Edard over here might have to play a little bit more of a defensive turn, which is not unusual for what they got going on. 2 cards left, so I got a stamina token, and let's go ahead and draw 3 more. Ugh. At least I got a slash, which allows me to access that thing, which gives me a chance to do some big damage next turn. So here is some nonsense. I had 2 straight turns with Darian, which means I used 2 taunts. It means I only have the 3 cards. Gonna have to discard 1 card to get moving. Oh yeah, that Kharja moved, and we are headed on over here. Let's go ahead and we could play some Beyond Limits over here. Yeah, let's do it. Well, first of all, let's play Tempo, which gets rid of this last struggle, and Beyond Limits, which do I want to suffer a damage? I'm at 8 out of 11 damage. That is just horrendous. But at least it will get Kharja wounded. So yeah, well, you know what? I'm just gonna play it straight up. I'm not gonna damage myself. I have a feeling that's gonna be terrible news for me. So that gets me to 24. The card does not say when Kharja suffers a wound, you get the counter. So the counter is static at 4. I'm down to 1. I only need to do 24 damage next round. So let's see if I suffer the attrition damage. Boy, howdy, do I. There was no way that I was avoiding that. So attrition damage is 5, so that actually knocks out our intrepid healer over here. And unfortunately, as I was off camera looking at stuff, can't take it back. The end of the round, this is the end of the round. As hard as how this one, it is. All players suffer wounds where X is the number of counters on Kharja. Down goes Edard as well, or down goes Robert as well. This ends as, unfortunately, I don't know what I did wrong, but this one ends in a loss for the good guys. But in a way, I'm kind of glad I lost, at least in the last round, because you totally saw the entire battle, how difficult it gets to stance 3. You get down to the 8, 9, 10, you're discarding all those cards, you get all those wounds. Maybe I could have played a game where I was, kind of timed it better and, got Kharja down, not just from 5 to 2, but like from 3 to 0. That's probably the move right there. So that's a strategy that y'all can pursue in your own games. And just, Kharja is a difficult enemy just on its own, and then the challenge just ramps it up and makes it that much more enticing for those hardcore players. So that is my full playthrough of this challenge. I hope you enjoyed it. Please consider giving us a like, subscribe if you are so inclined. And if you enjoy the game Primal, once again, their pre-order store. It's not a pre-order store. It is just a straight-up retail store, web store. That you could be able to get the game just on your own. So go ahead and check that out for the challenges, etc. This is Jason with the One Stop Co-op Shop. We'll see you at the next stop.